you.
Hey everybody, here again, another one. Today I'm gonna watch the death battle between Blade and Buffy. So, I do not know who Buffy is at all, but I have crossed by like thumbnails for videos saying the fight was some bullcrap, so I'm only gonna assume that Blade lost. Or maybe this Buffy person is popular enough for people to want her to win. I don't know, but from the look of this first shot, it looks like it's gonna be like one of those live action ones, so hey, I guess let's go ahead and get into whatever this is gonna be.
Yeah.
Why does Blade look like that?
Blade versus Buffy.
The Daywalker versus the Vampire
Why does he
Slayer.
have a little
He's
bum
whizzing
thing
a
on his head?
boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
I mean, I guess Buffy's a live action
They
character.
are
I guess
known
that's
by
why
many
they went
names.
for it.
Revenant, Vortala, Nosferatu.
Vampires. When the moon is out and the night is young, these undead demons are out for blood.
Fitting then that the greatest foe of those who stalk the
Alright, this is
night
Blade.
is the one who can walk the day. Blade.
Is that really his costume?
Hang on.
Now
I mean, that's
there's
just
a
the
man who
groovy-
doesn't file
that's
his
just the
taxes.
groovy era, bro.
Blade is one of the coolest superheroes
Ooh.
ever, and basically kickstarted the comic
I've never
book
seen the
movie
Blade
craze.
movies.
And
I wouldn't be
yet,
opposed to
he is
doing it,
also
just never
seemingly
crossed my
the only one who knows
watch
or
list
cares
path.
that in the world of Marvel,
Not on my watch list,
vampires
probably.
exist.
I don't know.
Seriously, nobody talks
I just
about
have a hard
this.
time really
Blade
going
doesn't
into
need
watching new
anyone's
stuff on
help.
my
He'll
own.
just aura farm by himself.
Even
Yes.
Blade's birth was hardcore. Just as
He's
the young
100?
Eric Brooks's mother was in labor, her attending doctor turned out to be the vampire Deacon Frost.
And he drank her blood right before
Professional
she gave
jazz
birth.
trumpeter,
This
okay.
infused Eric with Frost's
Make the
vampiric
new movie
blood,
Marvel.
turning him half human, half vampire. A Dampier.
Giving him a ton of vampy powers, but none of their weaknesses like garlic, holy water, or sunlight.
Eric would hone these abilities under the tutelage of vampire hunter Jamal Afari, sharpening him into a blade that would rape the vampire plague for good.
Blade is strong and fast enough to toss around 1,000-pound demons and cut bullets
All right,
out of
then.
the air. He can keep up with Wolverine, who can deflect Cyclops' light-speed optic blasts. And his Kevlar DuPont armor helped him take the top of Count Von Stott's castle exploding.
He can heal small wounds immediately and sniff out the supernatural with his hypersenses. Also, his fangs can drain his victims of magical energies.
After studying the ways of Hong Kong Kung Fu movies, Blade became a master martial artist. Ah yes, the Rufus from Street Fighter School
Wow.
of Kung Fu.
While the only martial art he's been stated to know is Krav Maga, we know he's mastered more. So, for the full scope of his martial arts ability, we'll examine the Blade movies as performed by Wesley Snipes.
By looking at Snipes' training and choreography, we know Blade uses Kung Fu, Capoeira, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Eskrima, Kickboxing, Shotokan Karate, and
Alright, just
Hapkido.
racking up
Add
numbers.
on Blade's knack for stealthy takedowns, and I guess you could call him Marvel's Batman.
Wow.
Blade's training progressed smoothly until Afari was attacked and had his blood drained by Dracula. Seriously, Avengers, Dracula is real. Why aren't you doing anything about this? He's right there!
Forced to murk
Didn't
his
Moon Knight try to
surrogate
kill this
dad,
man
Blade
Dracula
would
'cause he
have
owed
to
him
wage
$5?
his war alone.
Nursing a wound within him that would never heal. A hole that could never be filled.
Not with that attitude. Blade took a page out of the Book of Boomstick and tried filling that hole with every kind of weapon imaginable. He's got so many, they're his apartment decorations.
Handguns, assault
That's
rifles,
some
and
Punisher
explosives
level
make up
type
the brunt
build-
his
type of
firepower.
weaponry.
And he enjoys getting up close and personal with his dual acid-etched titanium katana.
I don't think I was Blade of
Speaking
Marvel
glorious
Rivals. Me
Nippon
personally, I
steel,
was very
he's
good at
got a
Blade
sword
Marvel
made
Rivals.
out of adamantium.
Specifically, secondary adamantium, a variant of the metal that is mass-producible.
It might not be quite as strong as Cap's shield, but it can cut right through heavy hitters like Ultron and the Hulk.
Naturally, Blade
Okay,
has
gotcha.
even more swords. His Atlantean ones can slice through magical enchantments. The Word Sword can harm intangible
So what sword
demons,
we're gonna be
and
using for the
Justiciar
video?
Can slay fallen angels.
Yeah, he's got some weird stuff he can pull out of his ass, like a Hellfire shotgun that burns your soul, or hypodermic
Dang.
needles filled with vampire blood. Seems kinda dumb to turn people into vampires, but it does make them more vulnerable to Blade's arsenal.
All that pales in
yeah, I
comparison
guess
to the
so.
arch weapon of hell in Blade's possession, the breathing gun. It is
The
a
what?
living firearm that hisses in the presence of demonic forces. Its sentient bullets chase its victims down. The wounds they cause cannot be healed. And if they get lodged in your body, they'll slowly devour you from the inside out.
Dang.
They can even hurt Hell Lords and even greater threats like the Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Blade took everything he had and fought his one-man war for almost 100
What movie
years.
is this?
He's battled
I've
hordes
never
of
heard of
vampires
that
while
Blade
skydiving,
film.
infiltrated the Pentagon, and even took on Spider-Man like Miles Morales, who could absorb the energy of a bomb that could destroy Harlem. Blades even bested the Spirit of Vengeance, Zarathos.
And while he
Dang.
occasionally allied with teams like the Avengers, he prefers to work
Okay,
alone.
didn't he have
I
Midnight
probably would
Suns
too
also?
if they only cared about me when I was helping them and not ridding the world of, vampires.
That, and Blade is scared of what he might do if he loses control, because he does have one classic vampire weakness: a thirst for blood. Blah.
Even more so after he had a daughter, Brielle, whom he avoided for fear of endangering her. If
Gotcha,
his bloodlust
okay.
does overwhelm him, he will enter a berserker rage, skyrocketing his strength at the cost of his sanity.
Though it does make him even better at killing vamps. He's
Yeah,
made
that
a
would make
cottage
sense for him to be
industry
scared
out
of his
whooping
daughter,
Dracula's
because, you
ass.
know,
Dracula is
blood, time of the month,
unsurprisingly
being
powerful,
scared of,
capable of
yeah.
summoning a
That
thunderstorm
makes
that
complete
covered all
sense.
of Boston with a wave of his hand.
Drac apparently didn't hold a grudge,
But wouldn't his
though,
wife
since he
also- I mean, I
eventually
don't know
made
how old
Blade
his
the
wife is.
sheriff of Vampirsk, a vampire nation in the ruins of Chernobyl.
Amazingly, Dracula has even given Blade some of his own blood, which allows him to shapeshift into multiple forms, like a wolf,
Really?
a horde of bats, or a cloud of mist.
So he can force his way inside your body and
Excuse
blow
me?
you up from the inside out, Ant-Man style.
What is with you with the Ant-Man? Blade's hatred of vampires is only matched by his hatred of himself. However, when Brielle showed signs of vampiric powers, Blade finally found a reason to reconnect with his daughter, training her the same way Afari trained him a century prior.
Even after Blade was possessed by the first vampire ever and tried to take over the planet, Brielle put her dad's teachings to the test, saving both him and the world.
And proving that Blade's lonely war need not be so lonely anymore. With his daughter at his side, and also this plant creature pet called Boy
That's-
Thing,
isn't that
let
just
Marvel's
the
vampires
man
beware,
thing?
For should they
Almost said swamp
indulge their
thing.
unnatural urges, they will be sure to meet their end at the tip of his blade.
Right, and who's Buffy supposed to be?
Today's battle is sponsored by Prize Picks.
You know what's awesome?
Yeah, what's awesome is getting
It's
to the
good
video.
to be right.
In every generation, there
Right,
is a
now who's
chosen
this?
one. She alone will stand against the vampires, the demons, and the forces of darkness.
This is
She
like some cult
is the
classic that I'm
Slayer.
unaware of.
Thousands of years, a new Slayer would be granted incredible powers and was destined to die young in battle against evil, passing their powers on to the next Slayer and the next, and so on. That is, until the newest Slayer would change everything: Buffy Ann Summers.
Not exactly the first
I think I
girl you'd
recognize
think is
this
the
actor
savior of
or
humanity.
actress.
Buffy's only goals in life were, in her own words, graduate from high school, go to Europe, marry Christian Slater, and die.
But that would all change.
Okay,
when the
then.
Watcher Merrick
That's a very
appeared and
specific
revealed her destiny.
chain of events.
Total bummer.
Merrick trained Buffy in the arts of vampire slaying, and she became so efficient that she burned down her school.
What?
Forcing her and her mom to move to Sunnydale, California to start a new life, far away from any more bloodsuckers
This
and
that
bad
just
makeup.
looks very familiar. Who
Small
is she?
problem, Sunnydale just so happened to be right on top of a hellmouth, where the boundary between Earth and Hell is permeable.
Yeah, that
Type of
sounds
Stranger
like the valley, all
Things?
right. Along with
What
new
area is
Watcher
this?
Giles, Wallflower
Got the
Willow,
upside down
part-time
underneath
bad boy,
it?
part-time sad boy Angel, magical retcon sister Dawn, and Xander. Buffy
What the
and
heck
her
did he
Scooby
do?
gang would battle a never-ending series of monsters.
And we mean truly never ending. Sure, there's the TV show, but Buffy has also been slaying vampires across video games,
Wow.
comics, and 128 novels. Tens
I thought you were
of
about to say
thousands of
movies.
pages
What?
of Buffy lore you've never heard of.
But we're just crazy enough to speed read them all.
Buffy
Oh,
carries
boy.
a variety of anti-vampire weaponry. There's wooden stakes, of course,
All right,
sometimes
that-
dipped in
that-
Gorgon
that,
venom that can
weapon
turn you
movement
to
was
stone.
pretty clean.
Though she's also experienced with axes, swords, quarterstaffs, holy water, just about anything.
You said it. When she fought an ancient demon unable to be killed by
Yeah,
any
but those won't
weapon
work on
forged in his
Blade,
time,
though.
Buffy introduced his stupid ass to the 20th century.
She's also a master of Aikido, Judo, Jiu-Jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, karate, kung fu, wushu, tai chi, kendo, capoeira, and taekwondo.
Buffy apparently thinks Hong Kong's kung fu movie masters could learn a thing or two.
Yeah, I know who this
No
actress
kidding.
is.
Thanks
I
to
just
her
don't know. I
Slayer
can't remember her
senses,
name for the life of
reflexes
me.
are fine-tuned enough to dodge close-range Gatling
This-
gun fire,
this
lightning bolts
bullcrap
from the sky,
gun
and even
dodging.
beams of light. She's kept up with another Slayer, Faith, who can dodge laser beams from point-blank range.
Buffy's strong enough to bend rebar, punch this 4.5-ton bat monster into the air, and smash hard enough to tear apart a building.
Okay
And
then.
despite her lack of armor, she can survive massive
What type of
explosions, like the one
Homelander
that
and
destroyed
Stormfront
Civilian Slayer
scene was
that's
that?
bigger on the inside.
Destroying
She
the
can
whole
even fight
place, just doing
blindfolded.
it.
But if she is injured, she heals fast enough to be totally fine by the next episode.
One time, Angel
Wow.
sucked out almost all of the blood from her body, and she survived. Doubly impressive since Angel's blood draining also drains magical energy.
Yeah, Buffy's own magic makes her weirdly
Oh,
resilient
I guess
to
that won't work from
esoteric
Blade,
attacks,
would it?
like when she expelled this misty shadow demon trying to possess her body, or when she resisted her soul being ripped apart and scattered across time.
Or that time she jumped into a vat of boiling liquid so hot it could reduce people to skeletons, and she was just fine.
She might not show
Wow.
physical scars, but she sure has emotional ones. Being the Slayer put a huge burden on Buffy's
Okay,
life.
so she's
Unable
dang
to
near
live
immortal.
Normally, she felt isolated, forced to internalize the trauma she faced on a daily basis. Sure, she had friends, but they couldn't understand her unique struggle.
Like when Angel turned evil after he took her virginity and tried to destroy the world.
Dang!
Must be one of those metaphors.
Sometimes the worst
Wow.
enemies are the ones you can't fight.
It's a freaking Honor
and who
from
don't
Frozen
fight
type
back.
Made
timing.
even worse by her having all the memories of the other Slayers bouncing around in her head, dating back to the
Alright, some
Stone Age.
Avatar
Buffy
state
has
type
dreamt
of
every
memories.
battle a Slayer has ever fought, and can call upon those skills in a fight, even subconsciously.
But this includes the memories of their deaths. Countless women violently dying young. A reminder of her inevitable fate.
A fate that came to pass when she fought the Hell God Glory. After leaping into Glory's reality-ending
That
interdimensional
jump, though.
hole.
A glory hole, if you will.
Bros around
Buffy
like some Disney
sacrificed
sitcom
herself
type
to
animation.
save
What
the
does actually
universe,
air on? Like
dying
CW?
a hero's death.
It appears my glory hole joke was poorly timed.
Finally freed of her unfair earthly responsibilities, Buffy's soul
He's only
ascended
20?
to heaven in perfect bliss. Until her friends brought her back to life in the agony
Yeah, I'm about
of
to say some
existence.
Dragon Ball type.
This
type revival.
absolutely crushed Buffy, and ironically, annihilated her will to live.
Oh, that's
Yeah, like
rough,
imagine
Buffy.
going to heaven
But
and someone
with the
brings
show
you
renewed
back.
for more
Like, bro, I
seasons,
was
she had to
chilling.
nut up and continue her endless crusade against all things Spirit Halloween.
Buffy's battled for 48 hours straight, defeated vampires immune to traditional vampiric weaknesses, and destroyed the Sword of Sano, which caused the Great Hanshin earthquake.
And of course, both Buffy and her friends have defeated countless immensely powerful demons.
Like the Queller Demon, which arrived as a meteor and caused the Tunguska explosion, which destroyed over 2,000 square kilometers of forest. Or the Sorrow Demon, which caused a storm that blanketed Los Angeles.
She's also a match for Angel, who survived a blast that could rupture a continental shelf, and took hits from Whistler, whose magic contained a bomb that could vaporize London.
She even faced off against the first evil, literally the embodiment of all evil that
Satan?
predates reality itself.
Forced into battles against stronger and stronger baddies, Buffy
Dang!
clearly needed something to even
It's
the odds.
both boxing her through walls.
Slayer safe!
It's actually a Bardiche,
Yeah, whatever. I'm just gonna say it. This thing is bullshit.
containing the essence of Buffy's Slayer
What's the
powers
thing
and
do?
created to defeat ancient demons. The scythe can deflect magical projectiles and slice through just
That's a
about
scythe? It
anything.
looked like an axe.
Ghosts, magic, even space itself, destabilizing reality in the process.
Even
Or a
Silas,
spear
the
at best.
devourer of worlds. Kinda like Galactus, but instead of chomping on planets, he
Aw,
eats
dang,
the
Ultimate
multiverse.
Alliance, the best
And
days.
There goes his head.
The scythe is easily the most powerful tool in her arsenal. In effect, attaining it completed Buffy, as though it were a piece of her she never knew was missing. With the scythe, Buffy was finally whole. Being the Slayer was no longer a burden, but a purpose.
And by sharing her Slayer powers with thousands of girls around the world, they all teamed up and kicked the first evil's ass.
Wow,
Suddenly,
some
the
Thor
always
Love and
isolated
Thunder
Buffy
type
had
battle.
thousands of shoulders to lean on, a sisterhood of slayers.
And thousands more reasons for any wannabe demon conqueror to stay away from Earth. Because unless you want to get your blood all over her stylish yet affordable boots, you'll steer clear of Buffy, the Vampire Slayer. Hey, as you know, it's
Dang, y'all racking in the sponsorships, ain't you? Okay.
All
But
right,
the thing
combatants
is,
are set.
which
We've run the
variants of
data
the
through all
dudes are...
possibilities.
It's
Which
time for
variants
a
of your
live-action
vampires are more
death
powerful than the Marvel
battle!
ones? That's my question. 'Cause they don't seem like people that Blade probably hasn't already fought. 'Cause this man was fighting some Ghost Rider type people. Or at least shot him. When was the last time they did a live action one though, bro? I don't think that's happened since Red Hood and Winter Soldier. This kind of look like her though, it's funny. Somebody get this girl. Why she got a daggone Kill Ryoku type backpack with the Keyblade in it or whatever.
We were kings.
Oh, that
long
gun.
before they had a name for kings. But now, star.
Dang, the cinematography on this.
Forgotten. You have waited long enough. Tonight, we remember.
Is he just gonna shoot her?
who we were. Tonight, we take back what was always ours. Tonight, we feast.
Daywalker.
Can someone get this girl, please?
That's just a start.
Oh boy. That iconic blade switch move. Tell me they're gonna body a whole room of vampires and then fight each other. And this DJ. Bro, that gun spin is amazing. Blade gotta be up there with like top 10 best ore farmers of all time. Ugh. Oh dang, double kill. What kind of vampires are they fighting though? Like, is this just vampires in general, or are they from a specific universe of vampires? Oh, okay then. That's not the suplex of doom. Ah, dang, sunlight. He died happily. He was just doing it for the love of the game. Dang, got her. Oh, and this is how the fight gets started, because he's not gonna know the context. Yeah. And she's gonna see that and instantly just be like, okay then. I would say he shot bullets. Or not shot, deflected bullets.
Not anymore.
His voice sounded like that. I did not expect his voice to sound like that. he's good at these weapon spins, bro. And the thing is, most of the time, I think if he's just doing it for no reason. You see what I mean? He did not have to do that. Like, he's just professional aura farmer. Dang, not the shades, bro. What? Bro, you had her on the daggone toilet and still lost. I guess for the sake of the story of the video, I'm guessing Blade loses because in this situation, he would be considered the villain. I don't know why that like slightly made me cringe. I'm about to say, the thing about this death battle is the death battle with a story. That's the problem.
Amateur hour.
It's the ones that don't have any context or like they just happen that make the most sense. Not the most sense, but it's like it makes it more susceptible to not having plot armor. So there's a hero and a villain to the story, it just makes it seem like whoever the hero in the situation is the obvious contender for the winner. Because then there's a story involved. Like, even when it was Mala versus Deku, there was no like context of the story. Ooh, but the bullet got her. Nothing can heal it, but can she kill before it ends it though? How fast does the bullet take effect?
Another sword.
I see you cut through adamantium.
Bring it on.
He's gonna get him one good time with that, I guess scythe they called it. Yep, right there. Yep. Dang. Head falls off. Dang. Okay, so I was right. I figured. Based on what everyone was saying, I figured Blade had to have lost. And takes his shades.
Ahead of yourself.
And have the nerve to drop that corny line.
No longer. I'm surprised. I figured with Blade's many years of comic book history, he'd have the edge.
Believe it or not, Buffy is actually in more comics than Blade.
Really?
But even then,
Man,
like,
Blade can't catch a break.
Let's break this down into 4 categories. First up, stats. Buffy's lifted much heavier things and survived more significant explosions.
Like, sure, Blade's strong and all, but he isn't literally fucking buildings apart like Buffy.
Scaling to the
Yeah, I
monsters
guess
they
that's
fought,
true.
Compare Dracula creating a storm that covered Boston.
If
to
it's
the
a
Sorrow
loss,
Demon
I just
creating
want
a
it to
storm
make
that covered
sense,
Los
okay?
Angeles. A city over 5 times larger.
But I don't
You
know.
might
This could
be able
probably
to
be like a
compare
Hope
Blade
vs.
to
Broly
Spider-Man
situation
like
where they didn't
Miles,
get
who
all
absorbed a bomb that could blow up
the
Harlem. But that's
beats and stuff.
significantly weaker than Whistler containing a blast that could wipe out London. They could both dodge light beams, but that doesn't keep Buffy from taking the overall edge in stats.
Blade's used to being the odd man out though, so his versatility is just as important.
With Blade's numerous
Yeah.
powers and massive arsenal, he certainly could have overwhelmed the more straightforward Buffy.
Machine guns and magic swords are generally gonna beat out crossbows and morning stars. Not to mention, he actually wears armor.
Also, Blade's faster healing factor and immunity to traditional vampire weaknesses kept Buffy on the back foot for a time. Blade wins versatility.
But when it comes to skill, Buffy's got plenty of experience fighting armed opponents barehanded.
Both of them were masters of a similar number of martial arts.
And Blade has been kicking vampire ass for a century.
Yeah,
way
I guess
longer
that's
than
why they call him
Buffy's even
Blade,
been
because he only just
alive.
has
While
the
Blade
swords.
may have more personal experience, Buffy's ability to draw on Slayer battles dating back to the Stone Age, at least 40 times
Yeah,
older
some
than Blade,
Avatar
gives
state
her
type
the
deal.
superior skill. Even then, they both had weapons and abilities so powerful they could end the fight instantly, regardless of all else.
They're trump cards. Fortunately for Buffy, she actually countered almost all of what Blade could throw at her.
Withstanding Blade draining her energy with his bite?
Yep.
Resisting the Hellfire shotgun destroying her soul. Check.
Preventing Blade turning to mist and exploding her from the inside out? Check.
Meanwhile, Blade had no way to survive, say, Buffy's Gorgon venom turning him to stone.
And even with the deadly and just plain gross breathing gun, Blade did not have anything as potent as the Slayer sight. It could easily deflect the breathing gun's bullets back at him, or use its space-cutting ability to slice through his unbreakable adamantium sword.
Don't believe us? Even Wolverine's adamantium skeleton was cut in half when a portal closed on top of him. That's the same kind of thing.
And Wolverine's beta adamantium skeleton is a much tougher version of the same metal.
Oh, and since the Scythe could kill Silas, a multiverse devouring god, I think it could take down Blade with a big enough swing.
Giving Buffy the final advantage over the Daywalker.
Really thought Blade had a chance, but Buffy sure put a damn fear on
Okay,
things.
if someone like
winner is
knows a
Buffy the
full-length
Vampire
reason as
Slayer.
to if
Next
Blade should have
time
won or
on
not,
Death
put it
Battle.
down below, because I really don't know. Okay, who's this?
Subscribe and join as a member to
Dante
see more
versus
Death Battle. Thanks for watching.
Clive? Who's Clive? My bad. I know Dante is Dante Inferno from Devil May Cry. I don't know. I've never seen or played Devil May Cry, but I at least know who he's supposed to be. As far as the other dude, I have no idea who he is at all. I know Cloud from Final Fantasy, but even then, I don't really know much about him at all. But hey, if anyone knows why this fight is like considered unfair by people, let me know. Because I am very... I don't know, I feel like whenever I read the ending it makes sense, but you know, I'm a guy that can be convinced about a lot of things. So maybe that's just why I personally just saw it as, oh, alright then. Maybe there's like a real reason as to why it's considered like a bullcrap ending. But yeah, I guess that was it for this one, man. Hope you have a good day, and God bless.
Yeah, boy.